topics.
You can move with my face.
And we are live. And we are live. Morning, morning, morning. Welcome to Coffee and Conversations. Good morning. How you guys doing this morning? On this Friyay. Friyay. Child, I had to move my hair from the front off my face. I said, Lord, I'm talking about I'm going to do a different style. I don't know if I'm able to do. Get the little bit of hair off my face. But, child, oh my goodness. I just can't. My whole damn. I just can't. Woo! Y'all, I had a night. I'm over here recovering. But I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it this hour. I'm going to make it.
I'm going to make
1 hour watch.
1 hour watch.
Make it.
Shout out to Dr. Deborah Dunstan as I'm sporting her Get Free, Stay Free gear.
Okay, now.
She deals with
Get free and stay
healing
free.
as well.
All right, Dr. Deborah.
Dr. Deborah.
Dr. Deborah. Honey.
And this is actually Mental Health Month. So definitely shout out to all our mental health industry workers, right? That dealing with the spirit, that's dealing with the soul, that's dealing with the mind, the body on a chemical level or a spiritual level, right? Because we're in spiritual warfare. So we need, at the most right now, we need those healers, the apostles, the spiritual warfare, the manifestors. At this time, we really need that supernatural type of healer. And for those of you who have not heard of my mental health, there's a whole little course that I'm doing. But for me, another preciousism. For me, God has shown me what health looks like. And when I wrote out health, it said, "You okay?"
Oh no. You ain't got no free minute.
No, I'm good.
I ain't needed to say
That ain't okay, girl.
Okay.
Yeah, it's soy milk.
All right. I got you.
Baby steps. I think that one little thing is not gonna be. It's gonna be okay with everything else I'm leaving behind, especially since I don't want to lose 15.
Exercise.
Yes, and we exercise. Okay. She's holding me accountable, y'all. Cause honey, I'll be in my feelings.
I want to see her in that thing.
Sorry, baby.
I got to see that picture.
You want to see me in that thing?
Yeah. I want to see you. I know that's gonna look stupid.
The I Choose Me outfit is about to be looking like.
Gonna be looking
and I'm gonna be wearing I'm getting my hair done in a bob. Oh. So I'm gonna do that 2-strand twist and then bob it up, and I'm gonna do it but it's gonna be a bob that kind of like lower and go longer, so like a slant bob.
Oh, shucks now.
So I can see that. I can see that for me.
That is gonna be nice.
So if I manage to drop about 15 pounds, you ain't ready to tell me nothing. Well, not manage. I will. Because I know what I'm doing. I know how to set boundaries with my body. I know how to do it because I've done it. That part. So.
That part.
No fear. When Juice 6 comes here, I will be leaving like she did that.
Them pictures gonna be fire.
Oh yeah.
Like, look at somebody.
It's gonna be fire.
Looking like a whole snack. Honey.
Mama 5 where? Chef Ron told me he's gonna be following me with an umbrella behind. You know the open umbrella.
Oh my goodness! Come on,
yes,
Ron. Come on, Ron. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna give
his tropical shirt with it open, flying open, and the chest all out. You know them button shirts. You remember Grandpa used to love them shirts. Them damn island shirts with the flowers and stuff. So, welcome to Jamaica.
Well, y'all know today is just Hot Topics, y'all.
It is Friday. Yay. Hot topics. What y'all want to talk about? What's going on in the world?
No, I was just, oh my God, and I had some topics on my head.
Oh, you did?
And they just fell out.
Girl.
It's one of them days.
I know. Who the booty club now? What?
The booty
Go ahead.
The booty club is like Janine and Star.
Hey.
Essence and Nene and Tutu.
Oh,
that's when we was working out. We call ourselves the Booty Club. So this is our workout crew. We would call on FaceTime because everybody has an iPhone. We would all do the routines together, and we call it the Booty Club because we was getting our booty in shape.
I love it. Damn, I should have been a part of that.
Girl, you didn't need to be because we wasn't really. Yeah. When we saying get our booty in shape, it's almost like your mama said, get your booty out the house. Okay. Not the butt, but just your booty. Get your booty moving. Booty, not that booty. Just booty as a whole.
Oh, gotcha. That was just the name of it. Gotcha.
So as I said, this is good morning. I was waiting, anticipating the wisdom today. Oh, hello, Queen, and welcome. We are here. We may be running late, but we will always show up. Unless I put a note like, I'm sorry, y'all.
No live today.
But today is Hot Topics.
Hot Topics. So give us some wisdom.
And I was shouting out my queen sis, one of my queen sis, Dr. Deborah Dunstan. Right. She does healing as well. She is a doctor. She is certified in her healing practices. And she does a lot with just really getting you to let go, right? Letting go. So she's my soul sister because we are in the same lane per se, like we're parallel. We're going in that same direction, and this is Mental Health Month, and so her saying is get free, stay free, right? And so I'm from survivor to survivor, right? And that's just the mindset is choosing and deciding every single day who you want to be, and really realizing that it doesn't matter what you've been through, is where you are today, is what you're doing. And so as I was saying, I'm about to start a class that's dealing with mental health. And the way God showed me health was heal. If you look at health, it's HEALTH, right? And so HEAL, heal, that stands alone. The T stands for thy, because I'm just biblical like that. And the H stands for history. So to have good mental health is to have the ability to heal your history. And that's why we go from survivor to survivors. As Dr. Deborah said, we get free and we stay free, because winning is one thing, but being able to apply the win is something else. And it's a mindset, it's an appreciation, it's actually an evaluation of what it took for you to arrive. I don't think we evaluate ourselves enough, because if we did, we wouldn't be so down on ourselves, right? We wouldn't feel so like life was picking on us. I always say life is not picking on you, it is picking you up, right? And it's up to us to take the hand up. When life bends down and grabs you by the hand, you got to reach back out to it. And every time you wake up, good God Almighty, that's like life reaching back down and pick you back up. Because that every day is not guaranteed. But when you get to open your eyes, you know that life is reaching back down and say, come on, you got something else to do. The time is now. And so we got to be willing to know what our F is. So what the F is, your mustard seed, is being able to know that you're either operating in faith or you're operating in fear. Right? And that faith is freedom after insight to higher self. I'm going to give you an acronym now. So, right. And so if I need the freedom after insight, meaning my vision, right? The thoughts behind my eyes, the vision behind my eyes, the sight behind my eyes, that's our vision. And so if I'm going to have the insight for it, I'm going to have to operate in it. Hello, Queen Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. I guess they are. But yes, and so fear is something that is so easy to just get in relationship with because it's everywhere. It's always lingering. It's always constantly nagging, right? Like, you can't do that. You remember what happened? You remember what they did the last time, right? That's how fear creeps up because it sounds like you, it looks like you, it moves like you, then it must be you, right? And so having the ability to think about fear, as we say in the book, a new way to fear is forget, escape, and rise. Because when we get to these moments, it's so easy for us to want to be like, I just can't. We want to turn around. We want to go back. But that's why I say mental health is heal thy history. In my church that we grew up in, St. Paul's, shout out to Dr. Johnny Ray Youngblood. We always did the Mayafa where we honored our ancestors every year. And one of the sayings that I love was the way out is back through, right? Mm-hmm. Get free, stay free, survivor, survivor, right? And so, as I said, because there's such a spiritual warfare going on, it's all about your mind, right? And spirit retrieval, soul retrieval, because because my mind looks back and wonder, right, how I made it through, and it's about you taking accountability and celebration to the you that is here right now. And so being able to honor it and honor your F's, because sometimes you got to check yourself. That's why in the very beginning of the book, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You see how small a mustard seed, I said for years, people always spoke about, if only you have a mustard seed. If your faith was in the size of a mustard seed. And one day I was talking to my husband, I'm like, well, what if your fear is in the size of a mustard seed? Don't they both grow? And so, because all thoughts grow, it is you who gardens yourself and thinks, and you are the one who captivates and captures, right? And so if it only take that much of a thought in order for it to grow, it's up to us to decide, are we building mountains or are we removing them? And in the moment, it's okay to feel it because God wants you to know that you're real and you require him. Give me the strength. I got to ask from you. I got to call to you. So that feeling of fear was just for you to remember that you are not alone and that you can do all things through God who strengthens you, not through you.
That part. And
so I need you to get that. I need you to get the feeling, but then I need you to move into your healing.
Take action, get the moving.
That's the I am, right? And so my I am is always the healing. Because I am that I am, meaning that we came to make a difference in the world. So the I am is always a healing part. So whether I'm healing the conversation, whether I'm healing in my work, whether I'm healing through my practices, whether I'm healing through my actions, right? Healing is healing, and it's energy. It is something that gives somebody else solace and comfort. Mm-hmm. And so when we're now in this spiritual warfare, when we are sharing our testimonies, oh my God, that is healing right now, right? That is the highest level of healing because you allow people to get free, stay free.
Break them chains,
right? And so again, maybe at Dr. Deborah Dunstan, but I just want her to know that because it's mental health. Today I was grabbing a t-shirt and I said, you know what? I'm going to shout out another mental health healer, right? Because together, when we collaborate, if one can bring 1,000 and two could bring 10,000, and what can 3, 4, and 5 bring? They bring about change, right? It never stops flowing. It never stops going. And it is our responsibility because when we tell our stories, when we live in God's glory, then we get people to get free and stay free.
You ain't never lied. That's why I said I was so proud of myself. Getting free and staying free.
Feel good, don't it?
Yes, it does, honey.
It feels really good.
Free and stay free.
To let go of the things that you cannot change.
Let go of the
things. Hey, or the L. Did we say hello? You know I forget the hello, boo boo. How are you?
Good morning, or the L.
It's hot topic, so we was running a little late. But we have been on for 15 minutes.
That part.
Thank God for this little timer up here.
Yes, so today is Hot Topic. So it's, we talking about a whole bunch of different things, whatever y'all want to talk about. What's going on in the news? What's happening now? Have I even been watching the news?
Have you even been watching the news?
I haven't.
I just saw something. And I really don't watch the news because, honey, don't bring me no bad news.
Don't you bring me.
And when I be watching, I think they was talking something about something traveling in the sky that people are noticing. I'm just like, and it's like stuff is going on. Well, what would happen if you knew? What were you gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? There's a UFO in the sky. What are you gonna do about it?
Saying something about
you gonna get some newfound money to create a bungalow underneath the ground? I mean, what are you gonna do that ain't already been done? Like, why sit in the, once again, fear, right? Got you paralyzed, worried, not moving, dysfunctional, right? And so watching all of these things that gives seeds of doubt and fear and just no promise just doesn't help the nurturing of who you are and what you have going on. And I think it's very important that we pay attention to what we put in us. And too much, we just put in just any old thing. And our mental diet is just so off. It's really off. And I used to tell people all the time when we was doing the refill stations, which will now be back virtually, right? So anywhere in the world, you can Zoom, tune in and Zoom and be in the refill station where I pick a topic and then speak to your souls. And then, and then we get that opportunity to go from suffering in silence to secret healing. Because many of us suffer in silence. That's why I say no more sis. I'm not talking about a queen, woman, girl. I'm talking about no more suffering in silence. And when we think about just our testimonies and all that good stuff, we know that it came from, as we spoke about yesterday, passion, which is suffering. And so we all have suffered. We all have endured. But it's time for us to shift out of the suffering into the healing. Right? So that we can go from survivor to survivor, get free and stay free. Right? That's our responsibility. So that's what happens when you put a healing mindset and another healing mindset and then your healing mindset and your healing mindset, right? Because we all are healers in our own birthright. The reason why is because we all had to go through some things that we had to figure out, right? And so when I say I'm the soul sage doctor, it's just the mind, right? Soul is the mind, sage is the wisdom, doctor is the dream revitalizer. Because at the end of the day, we all came with a dream, right? A dream revitalizer, because that's what it was all about, right? The dream is that you would come and do something. The dream is that you would change and impact, right? That's it. We're going to wake it up. You're going to shake it up. You're going to take ownership of what happened to you because it was necessary. You have to embrace it because you have to understand that your passion leads you to your purpose. And we learned yesterday that passion was your suffering, right? The thing that you get emotional about. And so that passion led you to your purpose in some kind of magnitude when you can get up. It requires a getting up. And so in order to mentally be able to operate on the capacity in which you were designed, you got to let stuff out so you can get good stuff back in. So yeah, how we talk and who we around and what we take in and the dreamers, like we were telling Author L yesterday, we can't be mad at people who never actually took a risk and jumped out in a dream. That's why I created What the F is Your Mustard Seed. I think it's about realizing that we all have things that stop us. And we have things that give us faith, that we're faithful over, right? And so being a mom takes nothing but faith, right? Life is a faith walk.
Right.
And I used to say that all the time. Yes.
Become a mom.
You walk it out. You don't have a choice. It's a part of your makeup, right? And so if life is a faith walk, Now, when I was saying life is a faith walk years ago, it was before I had the acronym of freedom after insight to higher self. So now when I say life is a faith walk, everything we do is because we took that vision, that thought, and we put it into action. So when I say get in action for your attraction, is because you're not only seeing it, you're being it, right? Because life is about the ing. That means I'm current. And current is a flow. So the ing makes you current. And as long as you're living currently in the now, in the moment, right? Which is why we pledge to love ourselves today, right? Embrace who we was yesterday, inspire who we will become tomorrow. That's the pledge, right? Mm-hmm. And the way we do that is because I can't go there without first being here, and I can't get here without first coming out of there. So I got to get from behind me, get out of my past. Because I can't skip over my present to get to my future, because God is a just God. He gonna make you take just steps, right? He gonna order your steps, but it's gonna be in order. It's gonna be a order. And so I'm not gonna take you from the back in, leave you over here. That part, the way out is back through. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. That means you had to go through. You couldn't just get to the mountaintop. You couldn't fly and land. It was required. The 40 years that they took to go through the wilderness, they could have walked through. But he took them on a path that was going to prepare them for the faith walk. So that every time he was building them up steady, because he said, God won't put more on you than you can bear.
Ain't that the truth?
So the more you believe in your faith, the more you grow. It's like a muscle. And so because faith is the insight to higher self. So when somebody's hiring you, it's because they know that you can fulfill a position. If you're trying to get a job and you're saying I have all this stuff going, and when you're going through the hiring process, because they think you have what it takes to put the momentum in. So when you're having freedom after insight to hire yourself, it's because you the one have the vision. And so it requires that I do what? Action steps in order to enforce the thoughts behind my eyes. That's my responsibility. Mm-hmm. And so I can choose to be afraid and stay paralyzed in this moment, right? False evidence appearing real, or I can choose to have faith, have that freedom to know that I have what it takes to do what it requires, because I've been qualified through the story, through the glory. And it's every day. Every day you're like, oh my God, what the F am I doing? Am I faithing or am I fearing?
What the F?
And if I'm using a new way to fear, then I'm feeling, but I'm automatically acknowledging that feeling and then addressing it, right? And that's how you do real cleaning. Like if you're gardening in the back and you see that rabbits are eating up your stuff, you acknowledge it and then you create a boundary, a fence. You do something to make sure that no more rabbits come and eat up your stuff. That's the same thing with your mindset. When you realize that something is eating it away, you put fences up, you put boundaries in order to not just let the stuff that's growing to be eaten and picked on and taken away before it has developed. So when I see is an issue, it is my job to get in action for my attraction. I'm the attraction.
That part, it is your job to defend yourself.
Tell them.
Defend your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Your faith that you done, that little bit of faith that you done mustered up enough. You gonna come and let somebody eat it away. Don't really want to eat it away.
Go eat it. Go want some drug with it.
How dare you? No, you had to muster up that little bit of faith. You had to muster up.
Come on now.
And they gonna come and just take it away. You gotta fight for that. You have to fight to get that, child. And it's hard to get it back. Look, that little muster of seed.
Of faith.
Come on now.
And a fear. Because we muster up fear effortlessly. I'm going to tell you, the people that muster up faith effortlessly, you will see their results. They are their results, right? Because you are the results of whatever it is that you put in. It's going to come out. And so if you're filled with faith, you're like, golly, they always winning. They always getting a job. They'll quit a job and get a job tomorrow. You think they special. They are special because they know what F to operate in. That makes you special.
That part. Mm-hmm.
The freedom, the free in it. They know what F to operate in. They operate in the faith and not the fear.
For the fear. They ain't got time for fear.
Ask anybody who's developing and creating. You're like, well, what are you working on? It's always going to be a faith walk. They're going to tell you how the answer was no, but they made it yes.
That's what I was watching something on, I think it was Facebook, some video or something. He was saying, he said, yeah, I have confidence. He said, that's my swag. My swag is my confidence. He said, you know, when I come in a room, that's my confidence. He said, I dress, that's my confidence. He was like, he said, I think it's my smell. It's my cologne. They was like, man, what's that cologne you got on? He said, confidence. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. He said, it's just all on me.
Yeah.
He said, it's in everything in me. He said, I even smell like confidence.
That part.
I said, I like
it's a
that.
Vibe.
Come on now.
When I said, God is the vibe and faith is his vibration. And then that smells good. Confidence smells good.
Come on now.
It's alluring. Doesn't it lure you in? Doesn't it grasp your attention? Doesn't it even make you whisper? You ever had somebody like who they think they is? That's that confidence that walked up in the room. Made people serve notice. Do you see me? Right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
It is nothing wrong with that.
It is nothing wrong
Especially if you have the courage to tell your story after that confidence. Because God wants you to not look like your story, but then he needs you to become the evidence of what it took for you to become the confident thing you are. Because you did not wake up like that.
Wow,
and that's the part.
Confident. Right. Tell the story of why you're so confident.
How you got that confidence. Who spoke life over you? When did you have to pull on yourself? How did tell what you went through that you had to remind yourself who you was so that you could walk in here today and make you turn your head and say, boy, they got a swag. They got a flow. So it's like, yeah, you're supposed to walk in because first impressions are everything. But don't omit the process because people get caught up in the promise. And with the process attached, they know that it's not microwavable. We live in a microwavable world, right? Where everybody expecting instant gratification. Nothing is like that. So when we start doing that talk and start being real after they see the prize, after they see the promise, and then we reveal to them, oh my God, there were days that I was crying.
And they be like, you?
Yeah.
Because you're so confident.
When people say, oh, you did your book. I was in here crying. Oh my God. I was like, I cannot. When I was doing my children's book, that will always be my story of unsurmountable faith. Okay? And it also is the story of how God will meet you where you are, but he knows how far you're qualified to get to. So he made me go all the way, and I mean all the way, because first of all, I was crying that I couldn't do the work. And my husband kept on saying, you can do the work. And I'm like, but I don't understand the internet. When I did my first book, it was snail mail. This right here, my first book, it was my favorite thing, writing. Typewriting and printing it out, shipping it, wait for it to come back, going back over the edit, shipping it, waiting for it to come back. Like, I was that girl. I to this day, I don't write a book, a poem, anything without pen to paper first. And then I have to go and transfer into these things that we have here. But I'm an old school girl. These things we have here. Right? That's the second step. But the first step is always pen to paper. I'm a writer. So when it was like, this was easy. I understood the process. And then when it was time to do this new world of digital, where now I did my book before Amazon was Amazon, right? This was back in 2007. And it took me a year for it to even come out. So I started writing, I believe, in 2006. And then, the process, because the poems was already written, right? So I just took a collaboration of my work. So it was just the process. But still, I felt confident, comfortable. So I was fearless in this book. But oh my God, when I got to, where's the children's book? When I got to this book though, this book right here, the children's book, How Special Are You, Where You One of a Kind? Oh, this book broke me. I'm talking about emotionally.
And it's so special.
It did for a moment, even my spirit, right? Because for me to doubt me is breaking my spirit, because God already had qualified me. But it was important for me to have people around me that believed in me more than I did at the time, for where I had not walked or chartered in, right? And so my husband was just like, you can do it by yourself. I was like, I can't. He was like, yes, you can. You can do it by yourself. And so we started the process of doing it by myself. I had my goddaughter create images, all of the images right here. I had to go on and find pictures, buy pictures that I wanted, so that I can have them through the process. I found a victor. So, but then I did everything, y'all, and I was crunk because I had layered it on, and we had went in the program, and we did it in 8 hours though. We sat down in an 8-hour process because I waited to the last minute in my deadline, and I started to write the book. You remember that? And we was right here at this table. Yeah. Right here at this table. When Chef Ryan was like, he walked out and left me. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. He keep on telling me, but he's not doing it. But he's gonna tell me that I can do it, because he knows who I am. He knows what I was capable of. So he had faith in me. And he sold me a seed. So we did it all. And let me tell y'all, I wish that was just a happy ending. But let me tell you, that was not how it ended. It looked beautiful. We had done it to our capability. It looked like gorgeous. Scrolling, I'm screenshotting pages. I'm like, oh, I'm ready. And I go on Amazon to upload, and it was like, first of all, this whole format is a no-no.
Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Who's KDP? Another breakdown. Mm-hmm. But God. So I'm breaking down. God said, ask and you shall receive. So I'm going through the breakdown, and I'm calling, I think James Sutton was helping me. I'm like, it's not working. Nothing is doing. He was like, well, I don't know. I never did a children's book. So I'm like, God dog almighty. So then Lala calls me. I'm right here when we was back-to-back neighbors. I'm sitting at the table that's in my, at the dining room table. I got my thing open, and I'm just looking, and I'm just like, my God, I just don't know. It was done, but my dad, I cannot. And so my phone ring, and I'm speaking to Lala. Shout out to God will always meet you where you are. And she's like, what's going on? I was like, I was trying to do the book, and I was almost done, and I had did everything, but it just won't upload, and I don't know what this thing. She was like, well, you have everything done. I was like, yeah. She said, well, why don't you go on Fiverr? I'm like, who is Fiverr? She's like, well, this is this app. Just go on Fiverr. Now, this thing been around for years. Never even heard of the thing, because when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I had done everything within my power that was in me to do before God let lie call my phone, because I would have offloaded hours, but he wanted me to gain courage and confidence in the unknown, what I was capable of, right? To take my dependency, to understand my value and my worth, right? And I love that he sent it through my king, because he had to start it off. He started it off for everybody else to keep on pushing. Even though he has a different way of showing his start off, I get it, right? And so I'm sitting there, and I'm in the book, and I go on Fiverr, And let me tell you, I type in and I'm like, I got this. I got the children's book. And it's 2 versions, y'all. I needed 2. I had created 2 versions, the same exact story, but it's the prince and the king and the princess and the queen, and it's just who they're becoming, right? So I have both of these, and I'm like, okay, I have 2 books, and when I sent it, he was like, ooh, this is all the way off format. I have to reformat every single page. I need you to send me the pictures separate from the words, and I'm going to have to do everything. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot afford this. God. So I go, he said, so send me both the pictures for both the images, all the words. I need the front cover and the back cover design, because I didn't realize that you couldn't download it like, oh, that's my first part. You had to have a separate KDP page. And he said, I'm going to do the front and the back cover. Created me a QR code in which my voice reads the book, right? He did all of this. And then I said, and how much are you going to charge me? Da, 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 da. I could have ran around. I did. I weeped. He said, $50.
Won't he do it?
It cost me $50.
Won't he do it?
To format 2 children's books. And I don't know if that's normal stuff. I just know that God knew what I could do. And when he had gotten and started doing all the work, he was like, oh my God, I didn't expect it to be this much work. And I said, I'm so sorry with it. He said, no, but I said 50 and I'm going to honor 50. And y'all know I love numbers. It could have been 500 and the 5 would have still been the same, but I'm glad that God made it 50. But the 5 stands for God's grace. And he put grace on the space that I was in. He knew what I had. He knew what I needed. He knew my intention. And he knew that I was committed to the assignment. So even though I had to weep, even though I felt like discouraged, even though I thought that I'm unqualified, he said, I don't call the qualified, I qualify the call. And so as long as you hear me call you and you keep on showing up, I promise you that God will not come down himself, but he will always send somebody to do what you need because he's listening to you.
Right timing.
And so when that man said that, I mean, and to this day, I never found him again on there. When I go to look, I do not find him again on there.
Is he not?
He could have been an angel. I don't know what he was, but what this book will always represent to me, and it's how and I think that's what the title was all about. How special are you, where you're one of a kind. You have what it takes. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find. You are so qualified for what I called you to do. And if you would let the fear go and activate the faith that I assigned to your process, freedom after insight to higher self, higher you, for you, your momentum. Remind yourself all the things that you've been through. That childhood journey was why I'm hiring you for your life. And all of the evidence of what you've been through is the reason why faith is so amazing.
Come on, Sun-Kissed Soul.
Come on now. Oh, I love that name. Sun-Kissed Soul.
Man, awesome.
Sun. I love that.
Yes.
She or he, because that's Sun, S-O-N. I don't know. That Sun-Kissed Soul is giving masculine. It could be
this message is right on time. Thank you.
I hope it is, honey, because God is always in time. And as I said, we are in mental healing ministry right now, right? This is a season we're in. It's spiritual warfare all around us. And God said, all you got to know is that I am that I am. All you got to do is remember from whence you came. All you got to do is for my son. I knew it. Sun-Kissed Soul. It's she and it's for our son. Love it.
Yes. Yes.
You got to know that you got to know.
Wow.
Isn't that so beautiful?
And just know how special you are. Because you're one of a kind.
Because you're one of a kind. I can search the world over and another you I would never find.
Never find.
And I think that's what life is all about. Is being faithful over you. God said, treat your neighbors as you first treated yourself. That means that's the blueprint. So when you be like, oh, I said, listen, self-love is important. It starts, I can only give you what's inside. And if I'm pouring into everybody else, I'm going to tumble over. I love to give y'all that example of a pen and you the cup, and you're pouring into your responsibilities. That's the pen. So that little Pyrex, that old glass pen that you can put in your oven, put a plastic cup inside that pen, just sit it in there, and you could do the experiment for yourself. Y'all speaking. This is certainly for me this morning. Thanks, sisters. Sisters, I love, girl. I see you a wordsmith too. That's you a kindred soul right there, honey. Good morning to you, Facebook user. We're so glad that you would join us today. So glad that you would join us. But what was I just saying?
The Pyrex glass with the example.
Oh, exactly. Thank you, boo. You put that cup inside that Pyrex glass, and we have roles and we have responsibilities. And so imagine you pouring into my job, I'm pouring into my husband, I'm pouring into my wife, I'm pouring into my kids, and this whole time and then, oh, wait a minute. I took 5 minutes for me. I'm gonna pour a little bit in the cup. Oh, but then I'm at work, and then I'm answering all my calls. I'm exhausted, and I'm giving still, and I had nothing left, but I want God to see me. I want to know I'm a good person. And then I come back to me and I'm like, I got 5 minutes. I'm going to pour a little bit into me. Eventually, with all the pouring in the Pyrex and not enough in the cup, that cup is going to tumble over. And everything that you have and everything that you are is going to get washed up with what they are and with who you are. But if you take that same Pyrex cup, pen, and you take that same cup and you pour into my courage, pour into my worthiness, pour into my celebration, pour into my anointing, pour into being enough, pouring into letting go, pouring into forgiveness. And all of this is going into your cup that's sitting in the bowl. Eventually, the cup will start to overflow. And it will fill all your roles and titles. And as you keep on pouring into yourself, it'll continue to fill your roles and titles. And guess what happened? The cup will fill up the pen. And then guess what? When the pen gets filled, after you still pouring into the cup will never fall over, and you're still pouring into the cup, but now the pen will overflow into the table, and then the stuff off the table will fall onto the floor, because God said that the anointing starts from the head and it falls down. You are the head of your life always. So when you allow him to pour into you, or you allow yourself to be in places and spaces that fill you up, it makes you a better wife. It makes you a better husband. It makes you a better child. It makes you a better worker. It makes you a better friend. So I choose me ain't selfish. It's selfless, because I had to be selfish first. I had to fish for self so that I knew what I can let less of me and put more of you in the moments, because I found out who I was. So I come with my instructions. And so that's why I think God says to love your neighbor as you first love yourself, because it would be inorganic for you to love them and give to them more than you already have. And so that's what it's about, to let go. That's what it means to just show up in your story and continue to give God the glory. It's like, it's a process. You're part of the process.
Yeah.
That's leading into the promise.
She said, yeah. Facebook user said he was your angel in that moment. He
Absolutely.
sure was, because if you can't even find him now, Lord have mercy.
Come on now.
He just appeared.
He appeared.
Understood exactly what you needed.
Yes, honey.
And made it so
and made
nice.
A dream a reality.
And he doesn't disappear. Like, that is something.
I think that's what life is about. Turning those dreams into reality. Come on now. But if you just sit down and acknowledge your steps, you will realize that you live in a fairy tale. Because everything that you had to go through and got through, that makes it a part of the past, a part of your victories. But I don't know why we choose to take the victim out of the victory. You see what I'm saying?
We always choose.
We take the victory and we throw it over here and we grab the victim.
The pain, and we grab the victimness.
We grab the pain and forget the game.
Yeah.
It was a lesson. It was for you. It was for you. You gotta get that, right? And so I think that's the hard part, is recognizing that life is teaching us something. It is molding us, it is shaping us, it is creating us, and it's up to us to recognize it, to pay attention. Pay attention. Who's doing what? And what are you doing? What did you come to do? How you effing out here? Are you faithing or are you fearing? Look.
You gotta wake up and
come on now.
Pay attention.
So are you essential?
That song from Whoopi Goldberg.
If you wanna be somebody.
If you wanna
time, what do we say? Time to live in serendipity. To surrender the pity.
Now.
How hard is it to surrender the pity? How hard is it? Because let me tell you something. I was sitting up in there and I could have been pitied and I could have stopped right there.
Pity.
Oh, the pity will kill you. But serendipity is to surrender the pity. I want to live in a peace, in a tranquil. I want to live in joy of knowing I am.
My life.
Period.
I want to be.
Which one want to be
bringing that back up and bringing that back up? I want to keep remembering that. I want to live in that.
And you
shadows
of everybody else.
No.
Yeah.
The victimness. No. That'd be the victor.
Until you tell your story, God will never get the glory. That part.
That right there.
Okay, I think I did that. So until you tell your story, God will never get the glory. And I think that's the hard part. The hard part is acknowledging that it was your process and that it was necessary. And it's hard. And that's why I love that it's get free and stay free. Especially being a survivor of molestation, that this Dr. Deborah's saying is so powerful because it's so easy to go back in your mind, right? It's so easy to get the memories, and it's so easy, and you have to be accountable. You have to heal thine self, to thine own self be true. You have to switch out your memories, right? It is a conscious decision. And I think that's why God says to renew your mind daily. Because I can't put new wine into old wine skin. And I'm doing something. I'm doing a great works in you. But I cannot, because if I put that new wine in that old wine skin, I'm going to bust. The thing is going to bust because it's going to expand. And so the wineskin will break because it's now going to go to the more of a space that has ever been with the new wine that's going to expand. And so that new information, that new message, that new energy, I needed to not be tainted. I needed to have purity, right? Because remember, we are made 70% water. And water holds memories, which means we carry the trauma in us. It fluctuates. It flows. And that's why when we break down the doubt and the thoughts in our mind, then it becomes less dense. And then it gets to trickle down and flow through your body. And that's why they used to wash the feet so much. Why I do the feet washing the once a year. Because right now I need to pull it all out. Pull the things that you let go of and you let it break down, that you did the soul, right? Because I'm going to start from the soul, my mindset, and then I'm going to send it to the soul, my feet, right? They are both said, they're spelled different, but they're the same word, right? It sounds the same, right? And so I got to break it down here so that it can come down here, flow through the body of that memory, right? And then rest in the foundation of you so you could pull that out. And so, it's so important that we don't take for granted the process, and that we continue to cleanse ourselves, continue to change the way we think, because that's how we cleanse our body. We cleanse our body with positive thoughts. We cleanse our body with affirmation because we are just memory. We are memory. Water holds memory. So if you take water and put a color in it, it's going to change the color. It's going to hold a memory of what you put in it. If you put perfume in it, it's going to change the smell. If you could taste it in the water. You can't see it in the water, good God Almighty, but you can taste it in the water. So I can't see it. You don't look like you saw it, but when you open your mouth, you're poisoning me. I can taste it. I can taste your poison. You look amazing. You ever see people like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful, but she's so nasty.
Her attitude, yeah.
Or she may not look the best, but oh my gosh, her heart is golden. His heart is golden because it's a taste. That's why he said, take that taste out of your mouth, like perfume, and so you definitely have to be mindful of your fragrance because you are water. And so when you speak, when you walk, when you talk, honey, you contaminate people with your stuff.
That's why they say I'm a slap the teeth.
I'm a slap the teeth.
I'm gonna slap the taste
out of your
Queen.
Mouth. The sun slash the sun. God created both.
Yes, the sun and the sun.
And then it makes me think of with this topic that the new vision that God gave me of the difference between morning and morning. Mm-hmm. That the only difference between those two words is the you. And so one represents grief and darkness. And the other represents when the sun is rising. SONSUN, right? Because we had to mourn for the sun to come up. It was 3 days and 3 nights before the sun came up, right? 3 hours, sorry. The 3 hours and then he rose 3 days later. So the sun was down for 3 hours and then the sun was down for 3 days. But then he rose again, right? And so that's the power. But the difference between morning and morning is the you. And when I take me out, when I take the you out of morning, I get a rising. So it's okay to grieve you. But after you have grieved,
take the pity out.
Take the you out. Take the pity out.
Surrender.
And that's your sun rising because it's not about you. It's about who you came to save. Because you are a healer. It's about what you were qualified to get through.
Come on.
Because passion versus purpose is nothing. Is passion becomes purpose, right? It leads you. There is a bridge, right? And so that's it. You had to sacrifice. You had to suffer. Right? And then you got mourning. But until you came out of the grief, honey, there was no sun rising. Because God said it's not what you go through, it's what you grow through that makes the difference. And I was growing you. I was stretching you. I was saving you for such a time like this. And that's why we get to be the evidence, right? And so it's about realizing it. Don't take it personal, baby. Take it process. Get free, stay free. Shout out to Dr. Deborah.
I am loving it. God, you just bring
Survivor to Soulvivor. Come on now. Because it's a mindset. He said, I'm going to renew your mind daily.
Ooh.
So it's not enough that you survive. We all can see that. We know what happened with you and your man. We know what happened when, with your baby. We know all of that. That makes you a survivor. But how you walking and how you talking, that makes you a soulvivor. That means that you have resurrected from your responsibility. You didn't take it personal. You took it process. And because you showed up, they can. You are the evidence. You get to be the answer. You had the time to solve for X.
Come on now.
So what's the value in what you've been through? What is the value from your valley? What does that look like? Because you were waving from the mountaintop. But we want to know, what did it cost you?
That's waving.
Waving.
Oh.
From the mountaintop.
Oh, wow.
Because that's what everybody trying to go to the top of the mountain and say, I made it.
Y'all see me?
Y'all see what I did? Abracadabra.
Booyah.
What? I gave my life to Jesus and he gave a brand new life to me. What they said? Boy, won't you look a little closer? I'm not the one I used to be.
Come on, Apostle.
I gave my life to Jesus and he gave a brand new life to me.
Come on now.
See, God, He didn't give me no. God didn't give me no voice, but if He did, honey,
if He did,
y'all feel like I'm watching a musical. You can hear it.
I hear
from
it
my soul. You feel my soul.
I feel it in your shanana.
In my shanana.
It's coming through, girl. I can.
There's a rasp in it. There's a rasp in it.
You know your wife got that voice, honey. You gotta just feel it.
You gotta feel my voice. You gotta go with me there. Go with the journey. Go on a journey with me.
Follow me.
Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. That's been almost an hour, y'all. We about to be out of this joint. This is Friyay. What y'all got plans for this weekend? Other than getting free and staying free. Other than going from survivor to survivor. We're in the spiritual warfare. How you healing out there? How you healing out there? That's that new phrase. How you healing out there?
We need that shirt.
I'm gonna write that shirt.
Yeah.
How you healing out there? Let me put in my notes because you know I got with praying hands. How you healing out there? I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have that typed up. That'll be available.
How you healing out there?
Ooh. Oh, I could do that. I'm gonna do that with all big words. I want all big words on that. I'm up with the prayer and I got praying hands. Yeah. Girl, say you. How you healing? I love it. The more I talk, the more work I got to do. How you healing out here?
Come on.
I love it. It's our responsibility.
What?
For real? Girl, confirmation. How you healing out here? It is so. It is so.
You caught me off. I was like, and you said it is. I was like,
How you healing out here? I love that. See, the spirit of the spirit of the Lord is here. I can feel him in the atmosphere. The spirit of the Lord is here. Let's get us a word for today. Key, it's your turn.
Get us a word for the day.
We got women.
Prayers and promises for women.
And it's not just for women.
It's Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, it's Happy Mother's Day to every mom.
Every mom.
Oh my God. Woman, are y'all ready for my woman? I got these t-shirts. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post the t-shirt. Woman is womb oracle manifesting another's needs. So whether you have offspring or not, we were created to mate, to nurture, to just be mother, to mother the world. And so if you are a woman and if you are a mom who has given life, who has sacrificed her body, her mind, and sometimes her spirit so that you might live. We want to celebrate mothers on this weekend.
Yes.
Right.
And even those who, like you said, hasn't, bear children, honey. You are still a mother to some children, somebody's child. So we are wishing you a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy.
And we celebrate you. And we celebrate us, Mama 5 in the building.
Come on now.
I got 4 more years till I retire from this type of mommy. Mama 2 in the building. So shout out to the most amazing little people who made me a mom. Yes. Shout out to my husband, who without him, all of this may not be possible.
That part.
And so when two touching agree, we just had a graduate. A college graduate. Happy Mother's Day. Shout out to all the new mothers. My niece is a new mom. She wasn't even supposed to make it to Mother's Day because the baby was due in June. And the baby came, April 30th. So she decided, and she went home, so she's healthy and happy. So little Patootie said, oh, my mama going to get Mother's Day in the flesh. So shout out to Asia. My amazing niece, this is her first Mother's Day, holding. Shout out to my goddaughter.
Oh, yes, they father.
Yes, my goddaughter Shania. Wow. She has a new baby. So shout out to the new generations that we are getting out the way and passing a baton, because that's what legacy is all about.
That part.
It is not to judge. It is to guide.
To be the village.
JB, honey.
That part.
JB.
Be the village.
I'm talking about Shania. It's JB. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you, Mom. There's Mama Faye. That's my mom right there. She is a mom of 7. We celebrate you. This is our first time in town for Mother's Day. Perhaps we can get Chef Ron to cook something. Truth be told,
for everything.
And he took for everything. Truth be told, you don't retire, you elevate to a new level, Mother. That part. And that's where I want to go to, where my plans don't need plans. Y'all know what I mean. Right now is my responsibility. When they get older, it ain't 4 more years.
Faith.
And they got to feed themselves.
It's God. We got faith.
Oh, faith? I knew you was going to get what we need.
Look
so the message.
What the F?
Look at Rondell voluntold.
Thank you,
he said, I'll be voluntolding him.
Done voluntold you. Not that you volunteered, but she done voluntold you. I love it. I voluntold
my husband. He gonna cook us some breakfast. I could feel it in my bones. I have a whole tribe that can cook though. They all cook. So I got a whole tribe. They normally get up and make breakfast and put flowers down. Mommy just gotta come in for the breakfast. They definitely do that every year. I got some amazing. The kids are amazing.
Yes,
I love them a lot. I love them a lot. They were worth every stretch mark, because believe me, they gave them to me. I even had a set of twins, so I did double for the trouble on one of my rides out. Okay. Happy Mother's Day to you, Sun Kissed Soul. Oh, I just love Mother's Day. You. I hope you got that on shirt somewhere.
Oh no.
Sun Kissed Soul, honey. You need to get some shirts made in bling, honey. Message me.
Wow.
Okay, so let's get that faith.
So the word is faith. Through Christ, you have come to trust in God. And you have placed your faith and hope in God, because he raised Christ from the dead and gave him great glory. Peter 1:21.
Didn't we just talk about that? My God.
Because your faith is much too small. What I'm talking about? No. What I'm about to tell you is true. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, it is enough. Oh my goodness. You can say it to this mountain.
Girl.
Move from here to there. And it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Matthew 17 and 20.
I can't make this stuff up, but if I ain't mistaken, that's what we just spoke about, honey. That we pointed out the very mustard seed. Now, we didn't plan this now. We didn't plan this. I promise you we didn't plan this.
Come on now. Faith is confidence. And what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see.
Make sure you get your book today. Hit that link.
Your book.
Go on the Healing app
at the top.
And get your book today.
And that part. Hebrews 11 and 1.
That was powerful.
All powerful God. Nothing is beyond your ability. No matter how audacious and no matter how simple. No sincere prayer is unworthy of your consideration. You delight in answering my faithful prayers. I ask you for a heart filled to overflowing with faith that will not doubt your response. What gives you faith and hope in Jesus?
My God.
Come on, Mom.
What gives you faith? What have you endured that reminds you that you have the freedom after insight to higher self? What gives you faith? What moment did you faith walk through? What did you believe God for? What are you rested in? What is the completeness in your life that you can be faithful over and grow that belief system into what it is today, into your dreams? Like I said, become your magic.
Become your
It's all about those abracadabra moments you take. Amazing teamwork, one bright. I know, right? They work like an awesome team. We are at the hour. We are beyond the hour. But we're going to pick our cards like we always do. We don't want to send you into the weekend without the cards. Shout out to everybody who showed up and was a part of the conversation. I'm so blessed that you have been moved. Keep on keeping on.
Have an amazing Tuesday weekend. We're going to pull these cards and let y'all enjoy my day.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Here we go.
See? All right. Oh, this stuff flew over here. I guess I'll leave it on up over here.
Are we ready?
Ready?
This one flew to the kitchen table, so I guess I'll keep it going. Let's get all these. So what is our I am for today? Oh, I am meaningful and I am special.
Oh.
How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over and another you I would never find. We'll find that on the Healing app too. I think this is a perfect way to end the day. We just spoke about it's Mother's Day.
Special and it's meaningful.
It's meaningful. What you do matters. How you show up matters.
Yes.
Life is because you matter. We have brought life in abundance. Life in abundance. And so, yeah.
Wow. Faith. These things be on point.
So on point.
This is so on point.
We had to take a moment of just
like
appreciation for the journey.
Yes.
Because God has a way of kissing you. I said these are kisses from God. He finds a way to kiss you ever so sweetly.
Flew over there too.
So it flew over there. I am special.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I think that has said it all. We have said it all.
So I'm like,
And with that faith, you can remind yourself of just how meaningful the journey is. And that is why you're special. The meaning in the journey is what makes you special, because God called you to be the answer. And he knows you've been through some things. Hell, that's the price of admission. But what he does also know is that you've been called and pre-qualified. And so it's up to you to recognize just how special you are and just how meaningful the process was. And he didn't want you to get stuck in it, but he did want you to recognize your power through it. He said, I wanted you to resurrect from morning to morning. I wanted to take you out so the sun could rise and they can see the shine on you. That's why they said, I'm glad I don't look like my story. That means you have to tell them something for them to be in amazement of how God never left you. So don't forget to be a servant, to be a healer, because when you speak life over somebody, you heal their day, you heal their moment. Sometimes you heal a lifetime. It's all up to you. Be meaningful. Right? And then we said, be in your feeling. Wait, I can't even remember the quote. That's why I wrote it down. What did we say we're going to put? How you healing out here? See what I'm saying? Just skip my mind. I told you. How you healing out here? So being meaningful and knowing that you're special is how you healing out here. They need your faithful walk. They need your faith walk, baby.
You are meaningful.
So, as always, it is a relay race. And somebody is relying on you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave your soul print. Because the fingerprint tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right. And what God got right is you. So remember, we don't compete. No. We complete. And the difference between them two words is L. And L stands for love. And love grows everything. So remember, you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. It is your responsibility. The ability of measurement in which you can respond. Everybody has one. So be meaningful in knowing how special you are. Be faithful over all the things that God has sent your way. And know that it is a shout out to Dr. Deborah Dunstan, another Queen sister in healing the spiritual warfare that's in the world. In her saying, get free, stay free. Remember that, right? And so how you healing out here? What are you doing to make a difference? She's healing in her lane. Are you healing in yours? We healing in ours, right? So go from survivor to survivor with the Soul Sage Doctor, Apostle Precious Paulin, because it's healing time. It's healing season. It is your time to be the difference. God is waiting for the INGs. What are you inging? What are you doing? What are you becoming? Are you currently currency? Okay. So without further ado, you guys, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day.
Enjoy it to the fullest. It is your day. It is your
Don't
day.
you lift a finger, ladies. Don't you lift a finger. Not a little pinky. You take that whole day of service and you be served.
That part.
Received. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. I have to tell myself that. Receive. Take this day to take it in. Don't be no superhero. Don't be out of the. Sit your behind down and be served, because Sunday is your day.
That part.
And you deserve it. Even if for just a labor of love is enough to be served for at least a whole day. My God.
Come on,
some of us ain't had no medicine. I'm just saying. Some of us had to let 2 people out. Some had to let 3. Some people had to let 4 at the same time. So we going to honor life because we are the abundant makers. We couldn't do it without you, men. But you come after, look, you next month. Right now we talk about you. Oh, so Lord, we love you. You've been tuned in to Coffee and Conversation. So don't forget to wake up and make today count. Have an amazing day. Love grows everything. So love yourself first. See you guys back here Monday. You have an amazing Mother's Day. And don't forget to tell everybody that you love them. Get out of your feelings and into your healing. They're waiting on you.